Good morning, guys. So today I called this live. Sometimes you just need to be unrealistic. And, I was reading a book this morning, and, the guy in there was talking about how that when he was in the hospital, he had a spinal cord injury. And, the doctors are sometimes like, oh, you just need to be realistic about this injury because there's really no hope. You're never going to walk again. You got no chance to live decent. And the problem is they take away the hope of people. They take away the hope of people, and they try to tell people things in the guise of, you just need to be realistic. You should be realistic about this. When the fact of the matter is sometimes we need to be unrealistic. See, after Jesus died on the cross, I bet there was plenty of people that told the apostles, oh, just be realistic. It's over. It's over. Just be realistic. The fact of the matter is look at the move. Look, that was just the beginning. That was just the beginning for the Church of Jesus Christ. Because you see, when people start saying it's unrealistic, then hey, maybe that's where things really need to start. Another good example that is in the Bible is Job. See, when Job, after he lost it all, his three friends or whatever, they came to comfort him. They came and they were trying to get him to be realistic. Oh, you sinned. Just be realistic about it. Don't try to hide it. Just be realistic about this fact. And oftentimes in our life, people will come up to you and they will say, oh, you just need to be realistic about it. But you know what? When it comes to your dream, when it comes to what is right in your life, when God has led you about to do something, and people try to tell you, oh, it's not realistic. When you feel God inspire you to do something, I don't care if it is a drill. I don't care if it's to drill wells in Africa or if it's to build a moon base. I don't really care what it is. When you feel, it doesn't matter how unrealistic it is. When God is with you, nothing is impossible. We need to be. We need to realize that realistic is only in the realm of possibilities. Realistic is only for those who do not claim the power of God. Because see, the Bible says, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. The first step is power, and then love, and of a sound mind. He wants us to have power. And when we are trying to be realistic, we're just taking away our power, our ability to act beyond what we think we can. Our ability to allow God to do more in our life than what we can do right now. See, with God, unrealistic becomes possibility. It becomes realistic in our life if we allow Him to work in our life. So I think we need to be exactly how it was when Jesus went across the sea, and it's right when this man comes out of the tombs and he's got devils in him. In fact, they called him Legion. He had so many devils in him. And Jesus healed the guy. The whole process. He leaves, comes back. He's going through the town and he's doing miracles and things. And the woman of, the blood, first it was the ruler of the synagogue comes and wants him to come, or a local ruler or whatever, wants him to come and heal his daughter. And, so Jesus is going over there and he arrives there basically after, there was a couple other things in between there. But he gets to the person's house and and supposedly the daughter's already dead. And so the mourners are in there, they're wailing, they're mourning. And so this is what it says in Mark chapter 5. And he cometh to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and he seeth the tumult, and them that wept and wailed greatly. So back in those days, they would bring in people that to wail and weep. And when he was come in, he saith unto them, why make ye this ado and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn. And when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and mother of the damsel, and them that were with him, and entered in where the damsel was lying. Now, we know that whole story, how he raised her from the dead. Now, the point that I want to make in this case is that when we are being unrealistic, there will be plenty of people that will come out of the woodwork and try to stop the progress. They're gonna try to run us down. They're gonna try to steal our dream. They're gonna try to. This is why the Bible also talks about don't throw your pearls in front of the swine. It is not talking about if you have a dream, if you have something precious, you got to protect it. You got to be unrealistic about this, and you got to protect that dream because there's plenty of people out there that want to steal that pearl from you. And your dream is like that. Your values in life are like that. And sometimes we just need to be unrealistic about life. See, if you look back in history, people might have said it was unrealistic for Martin Luther King when he tried the whole civil rights movement. It was unrealistic for the Wright brothers to be able to fly. It was unrealistic for Steve Jobs to invent the iPhone. It was unrealistic. All of these, there's so many instances of that. If you really look back on life, that these things are unrealistic. See, it is only unrealistic until it's been created. See, before Steve Jobs created the iPhone, it was unrealistic to have an iPhone. But after it was created, oh, wait a minute, hey, it's now realistic to have an iPhone, and everybody's got a smartphone nowadays. So I think it's important that we realize that unrealistic is just, people are trying to use the word realistic. You just need to be realistic about this. It is a way to steal your dream and to cut you down. You need to maintain that positivity and hang on to that dream and hang on to that unrealistic expectations. Because when we are willing to believe in unrealistic expectations, it's amazing what God can do in our life. The book that I was reading is the guy was talking about how he was a paraplegic. And he traveled all over the world by himself. He doesn't have any extra help that he takes with him. And people are just so kind and they're willing to help him out, and he's like a speaker all over the world. And so most people would say that's unrealistic for you to be able to do that as a paraplegic. But see, he believed in he had unrealistic expectations, and he was able to do unrealistic things. And I think that is how we need to be in our life. There's plenty of people that want to steal your dream. There's plenty of people who want to take away your hope. And I think hope is one of the most important things that we can have, is a hope for the future, a hope for a different thing. And then we act upon that hope. We need to be unrealistic about it, Sure, we can look at the averages, but who wants to be average? Average is, realistic is for average people, But if you want to be more than average, you gotta put away this realism. You gotta be willing to put that down and live unrealistically. But anyway, that's my rant for the day. It's just something that I was so inspired this morning. I was reading a book and I just realized, we have something special. We have something very special in this country. We have the ability in this country to pretty much anything that we want to achieve. It doesn't matter really what it is. We can achieve it if we're willing to put in the work. So with that, have an absolutely amazing day. Thanks for listening. We'll talk with you next time.